What do you do if your business hits a crisis moment? And how do you plan for that? So, Ted Turner, when he initially was launching the idea, what became eventually CNN, he and his investors, or his investors and his partners, were extremely excited about the idea and wanted to move forward with it. They didn't see any way that this network could fail. Ted Turner was a bit more concerned about what was going to happen. What happens if we do start to lose revenue? What happens if we do start to lose our viewership? So he insisted on his team putting a plan B in place before they ever launched. They ended up launching. After 7 years, they had a great 7 year initial first run in the company. After 7 years, everything started to plateau and started to go south. Viewership went down, revenue started to go down, everything started to fall apart for them. And because they already had this plan B in place, they were able to execute. They were able to implement it right away to be able to level out the company and continue growing. Today, they're one of the biggest cable news show networks on the planet with a worldwide reach. So the question is, what do they do? Their plan B was that they were going to they would give part of their company to the cable network operators, who would then have an incentive to be able to actually show their networks. And this is how they were able to get distribution without having to fight for distribution. They gave an incentive to the people who had the distribution to be able to continue running their network, and that was how they'd be able to save their company and then continue growing after that. So the question is, if you have a business, how do you plan for a plan B, particularly when you consider all the variables that could go wrong in a company around being able to fulfill your product or service, around your marketing, around anything else that may happen in your business? How do you plan for that? So what you do is you sit down. So here's a technique you can do to be able to find the single 1 to 3 points of failure that can happen in your business, to be able to then think and put a really strong plan B in place. So if something happens here, we can put that in place immediately and not wind up risking anything in the company. So what you want to do is think as follows. Who are your top 3 competitors? And all of them have just met in a restaurant somewhere, and they're all very excited because there's a piece of bad news coming out of your company. Bad news for your company and good news for them. So they're sitting down and they're talking, what is that piece of bad news that happened? Okay, did you lose a main client? Did you lose your main supplier? Did you lose a main source of advertising or revenue? If you're relying on one main source, what is that? Okay, that's the point you put a plan B in place, because any other issue that happens in your business can be worked out and solved. It isn't necessarily going to translate into a single point of failure for your business. So identify what those single points of failures are, put a plan B in place, so if anything does happen in the future, you can execute on it right away and be able to continue thriving in your company. All right, talk to you later. What are your thoughts? Put it in the comments below. Bye.